Welcome back to the Sockness Files. We're continuing reading his 2020 tweets. Starting August 1st. My new mama says I have a home with her, and protected too. Only nice people get to live with the mama. She's good for the little boy. Jacob tweets at Goddess Inanna3, an account that has been deleted. I found out Jacoba plans to betray you. They have been researching biomech for 3 years now. It's unclear they knew about a goddess years before I considered the idea at all. I knew the biomechs existed, but not what they are for. They tested them in the Boots Void, which is the most empty place of all. They brought an army and wiped it out. The Boots Void is where Rokat go to test new weapons like these biomechs. It's claimed the suits are sentient, organic beings. The pilots are made immortal, for they can train for centuries together to reach higher and higher planes of reality. They plan for the 12th dimension. Christine isn't the aim. Her C-197 is too low a shot for them. Jacoba was after Yahweh the whole time. Chris Chan's dimension was a stopover. She was a tool for them. Since it's over, I can say it. They wanted to launch from C-197 to the 6th dimension and up. Q, Mother. You humans shall surrender to the Rokat that serve me. Your world shall be destroyed unless it submits to my will. We do not serve the Rokat, but rather the Rokat serve us. Below this are two very blurry images of nothing. Q, Mother. We demand Earth's surrender to be immediate and unconditional. We have just conquered the Rokat Empire. All subjugated worlds are to report and seek orders for myself, the Queen of the Stars, Queen Mother. Q, Mother. Their message has been sent to all worlds within the Rokat Empire, that your people are to report to me all chemical resources on your planet, and number of sentient populace that can be put to work to build the weapon against Source God. Queen Mother, even your God has fallen. Not it is time for your species to comply with my demands, and return all off-worlders to the homeworlds. This demand has been placed due to the fact that this planet has been connected to the Rokat Empire for dismantling. My position on Earth links up to the Rokat Empire. The Queen Mother owns Earth by default of conquest of Kitasuna. I can't ease the details due to censorship. At Chris Chan, Queen Mother specifically demands you photograph yourself bowing to an image of a tardigrade. Google Water Bear, print it hour, and worship it. The Rokat Empire got conquered by them today. Jacoba is hostage, thus I serve Queen Mother, and so does my prefecture Earth. Jacoba can deal fatal harm, and Queen Mother controls Jacoba. I'd hate to see what happens. They have needle mouth parts to suck out your cytoplasm. It sounds painful. Sentient water bears are common. Queen Mother and Jacoba both want the same thing. Goddess Inanna3, Jacoba is a traitor. He doesn't even resist Queen Mother at all. He sold out for biomechs and weapons that would allow him to attack God Yahweh. They plan a vicious war, not a conquest, but a partnership. It's about biomech battlesuits to invade heaven. Chris Chan, Jacoba dropped you like a bad habit. He cold turkey on you, Chris, and move up to the tardigrades and biomechs. They own Earth as a trade-off. I know serve Q Mother. The amount of typos in these messages is very telling about Jacob's mental state while tweeting about this stuff. At Chris Chan. Do you want to be a real hero and liberate Earth from Q Mother? All we have to do is kill the Grand Design and set magic free. If we met already, this would have been done. Queen Mother demands the Grand Design be broken. I'll be a hero and break it myself. I'll teach another friend the ultimate power. He'll merge fur porn and sexy bears to this reality with no cartoons, just adult fur manga. Jacob then tweets at an e-girl. At Catherine Mistress. If only I can find a hug as tight as these clothes. My feet would be up in the air with hugs that tight. The tightest stuff I own that isn't a Joe Boxer onesie. Hold me as tight as you want. I can't break from hugs alone. Unbreakable Bear Cub loves tight hugs. Below are 4 images of Jacob in tight clothing. That's a Joe Boxer Child's XL on me. So tight it makes me firm. There is magic is the children's aisle, if you're a little like me and can squeeze into it. Sometimes I'm surprised I can get into children's clothing. A little boy is a little. Below are 3 images of Jacob in a onesie that is too tight for him. I find it extremely unlikely that those are actually children's onesies. Some people with autism find being tight and compressed, sometimes under a blanket, to be very soothing, which is probably why Jacob likes it so much. At Chris Chan, I'm clearly more powerful. I can show my gods. You rely on this. If cartoons are real, then my photos are 10 times that of real deities. Below are 2 images, one of smoke that Jacob has in his room that he's traced over in MS Paint to try to create what looks like a figure of a woman. Next to this is a picture from a cartoon. Why do I even bother? I'm clearly a god. God is clearly more powerful here. Why is it God and not goddess in the Bible? I will meet Michiro at some point, as he claims. I'm going alone if he makes it to my place for his temple on the 14th. I was looking my usually gorgeous self today. I had breakfast at Burger King, large number 4, iced coffee. Keeps me for 8 hours. I had to move twice due to filthy beasts tainting my image. How dare they approach this gorgeous god? After I finished my meal and headed back home, there was a pair of wild beasts. One of them was convulsing violently, as they should. It had a buddy. That beast was beginning to ask me to dial up the vet. I responded correctly with, "Get the away from me." I quickly launched a full spread of C-bombs. Blows nose openly at the foul beast. The beast on the ground continued to convulse. The animal that could move got out of there fast. I walked off, laughing, knowing the outcome. I will never talk to a filthy beast. You have to be clean and proper to get a response that doesn't involve absolute hatred. I'm celebrating a victory for the human species. I have a homeless brother. I would have done the same if not worse. I would sneeze on my brother for what he is. No mercy for drug addicts. Party hard, sneeze on the weak. Reopen the world through force. Time for civil war. The beasts in this tweet thread are obviously homeless people, and Jacob is claiming that on his way to Burger King, he found a couple of them and blew his nose and sneezed on them to give them the coronavirus. That's just great. The government is not correct in thought or process. They are evil. The only good government is one that keeps things normal no matter what. Ban face coverings, ban lockdowns, ban anything that can restrict freedom as protected by the Constitution. Yeah, someone will claim murder isn't in the Constitution. Guilt trips don't work here. Within reason and writing, A Real Path to Freedom would take hundreds of pages. I demand my freedoms to choose bars or clubs be restored now. An amendment should be added for handling pandemics or state of emergencies. Rent can't be collected. Prices on goods and services can't change. Healthcare is non-profit. Evictions can't take place. All business is essential. Only confirmed sick can be quarantined. If state of emergency or pandemic is called into effect, the rules go 4 weeks beyond calling it off to allow people to restore their lives. The amendment should be along those lines. The Fed and state should have no protection from suing parties for damages incurred during the status of state of emergency or pandemic. They should be punished for even calling such status, thus reducing the need. Kiwi Farms thread asked what would happen to Chris after Barb died, and someone suggested that he might be kidnapped by Jacob, so Jacob is responding to that. I'm going to respond to this. Chris can't live here. I'm a nudist. I'm not going that up. For her, homelessness is the worst. She has to be okay with my being nude in the apartment or no deal. No pets. Animals are food, not friends. I would have to be her payee to make sure her half of the rent is paid. I can eat out and there'd be no food in the apartment at all. No rent, I kick her out. I'll point her to tenant rights orgs and get her on her own. I plan for her to be on her own here. I planned on tenants' rights to get her out of my rules anyway. She'll get mercy housing, Section 8 or whatever programs I haven't heard of. She'd be blessed to get kicked out of my unit. If she's local, she'll have a visitor whenever one of us got lonely. She'd be blessed to end up here. I'll contact one of the tenant right orgs and find out what would happen. She might actually end up with a very good place. With the fake-ademic and all, Barb has to live. My building is incredibly retarded and stupid. They don't allow guests at all. I will sue if it comes to helping Christine. Our mother in Ruckersville, hallowed be her name. Your dimension come, your will be done. On Earth 1218 as it is in C197. Give us this day our daily post, and forgive us our debts to you, as we also have forgiven our slanderers and trolls. And lead us not into trolling, but deliver us from them. Amen. At Chris Chan, I have not given up on you as a human, but rather I am here as a brother from the same past life father, Janu Hidekara. Powers beyond us have sealed the merge. It can't happen, unless by the spells given, done correctly. I reluctantly pray to you now. I now offer Jacoba's prayers first instead of yours. Jacoba has shown his power and ability to return me home, and has done the most work towards my goal to go home. I want to go home to be with my people. You want to go live with cartoons. Fine, I don't really care. I care about getting home. Helping you and being a true friend without the merge being the currency of the friendship. If our friendship is purely based on my effectiveness in your dimensional merge, then I was never for you. I was never going to just hand you vast power. You want my ultimate power? Work for it like I did, and train with it. My lesson to you, should this now be the end? Nothing is for free. What you want comes with work. Hard work. Decades of training to get where I am. No matter what, it's hard work to obtain my level of power in this dimension. What I have took 20 years to obtain. Good night. I've proven long ago that my homeworld is real. I'm done proving to false trolls who've never been off planet. Kitasuna is real and I've seen it with my own eyes. Below this he posts 4 pictures of a blue planet. Any government that isn't free is not American. The government is void and doesn't exist. Reopen all businesses and return to full normal. The fake-ademic orders were never going to work. It failed. Time to call it off and go back to normal. We must force normalcy. I will send the storms to any nations that support China. No food aid can go to China. I will sick these nations that send food with plagues of locusts and storms. China must be erased forever for causing the BabsCon to be cancelled. I will only end my curse when I meet Chris Chan, and know how it goes in person. I'm done playing. The war doesn't end until the original version of BabsCon is met. Open the BabsCon, and bring all the original people together, or their ashes if they passed. No masks, no anything that would make the BabsCon different from a normal BabsCon. The war is moving toward the States. Reopen or it will get worse. My death isn't the end. It's the beginning of the end. I'm fighting for freedom of choice. The homeworld has won the war. God demands the fake-ademic end or it gets worse. He summons the god of plague next week. We'll make it fail and sue once it fails. God is glory. The strong will triumph. Only the strong have a place on Kitasuna. The weak must be allowed to pass into memory. The fake-ademic is a test on the strong to fight back and refuse to shut down their businesses. Stay strong. Stay open. Resist until the flames of destroy you. The strong shall be rewarded with eternal paradise in my faith. Stay open until the flames of consume the building. Never shut down. Never give up business. Protect freedom of choice no matter what. Those strong souls of freedom will find heaven open and free. I can't believe it. Chris Chan likes my Sailor Scout. I am war. I am freedom from tyranny. She's beautiful, isn't she? I would know. I actually play with fire all the time. I know you can't touch fire like me. If you can, show me. Below is an image of Jacob, in the dark, wearing a robe, with various candles lit, with his hand on fire. I am fire. I will burn down the enemies of my freedom. I am the burning rage of God. Restore my freedoms, or the whole of earth shall know my wrath. I am fire. My wrath is immortal. Below is a picture of Jacob in the same robe, reading a book in front of fire. In the image, he has a beard. Why do you think the whole world is and World War III is looming with China? Watch some alt news. You'll see what's going on outside the fake-ademic stuff taking over the fake news. Her silence is a measure of refusal to assume the throne. Christian and me share a past life father. Past life father is now Emperor of Parduav, Moku, and 2.5 billion, while my throne gives me 0.84 billion. Indexed like 50 pages of channeling over the last 2 days, Jacoba can be possessed by evil. There's a whole book dedicated to this possession by the evil god, an entity far worse than Satan, a name I dare not speak. Twitter user Sucknasties says, "What are you talking about, Jacob?" Jacob responds, "I have 3,000 pages of channeling logs, and I'm indexing important terms for easy research, and getting questions compiled to gather info on barely mentioned events." I never really had the proportions of the Rokat body down at all. Mishiro has confirmed this is a Rokat master race. We think the dick is actually a loincloth with fertility sigils to be used in Puthadian sex magic. Below are 3 images. One is a picture down a dark hallway where Jacob has imposed a very poorly modeled 3D render of some alien-looking thing and then put a filter over the entire image to make it look like it's actually there. Next is a drawing of presumably a Rokat done by Jacob. And then another one. The Rokat is given the Ken doll treatment and has no genitals. I found something in my logs today. Jacoba is planning a direct invasion of Earth 1218. They plan to take Chris Chan into physical onto the ship. Drip of some battle suits for Trump's enjoyment. I knew Jacoba talked to Trump. I didn't know he could respond back. War is imminent. World War III is an absolute. Now it's getting scary. They are planning some invasion stuff. Knock out all of the power to Asia and start a nuclear war. Invade the US all to collect 3 humans and leave. Not even claiming Earth. They'll just leave it in ruins. The channeling session will be leaked later. Jacob then posts this plan on his Reddit. I will have a video on Jacob's subreddit at some point in the future. I just skimmed over this and it only said that they were going to kidnap Chris Chan and Jacob, so I'm not sure who the third person is. Chris Chan, is your mirror in the bedroom above yours facing the street, right? Jacoba just showed me the floor plan of your house. For the quickie page, here's the floor plan. Solid red star, Chris's room. Yellow star is temple. First floor, pay room. Barb's room. Second floor. Chris has the coolest room on the house. No evening sun on it. There's a triangular part on the playroom with the cut section. That was the best I could get with the visions from Geneva, Baroshali, and astro projecting into the house. It's not even haunted. She has failed to work my spell, or else the place would have a portal as strong as mine. The current portal felt extremely weak, only astral, not like mine with demons and gods passing through it. This is a temple worthy of my spells. Below is a picture of Jacob's temple, including his shrine to Chris Chan. At Chris Chan, I found out you think you can rewrite my spell for the dimensional barrier. Might as well rewrite the entire thing. Yevon gave me the strongest possible spell. It's a triple player spell. You, me, and Jacoba to replace Feneb, who is gone. My spells are not going to do anything unless performed as written. You have to do all the prep work, such as the initiations and such, into the proper religions. Mishiro designs the spells for perfection. Anything less will achieve nothing. Improper use of magic will only work to seal you off further and disrespect the gods associated with the path you seek. There is no single-player path. I maxed that out years ago. We need multiplayer to go further. I teamed up and mapped your house. I couldn't have done that on my own. You need a coven, because the flesh is limited. Dungeons & Dragons has such spells that require a coven or team to use. The most powerful magic is done with the coven, a team of people. You now play D&D. You would know a team is stronger than an individual. The same is with magic and the occult, and that portal you want. We need number 3, or involve Jacoba. I saw some leaked stuff to the Rokat. Your friends betrayed you and leaked your chats. Genova Barashali, who showed me your house and the truth. If you're so powerful alone, show me your power. I took this with a cell phone and edited brightness and contrast. Beneath this is a screenshot from Chris's leaked chats. The message is between Chris and presumably one of the White Knights. Chris says, "Finally, I was able to tell Jake off, without a total breakup, still leaving that to Mama." Chris believes he is currently Sonichu. Also, I have his spell for breaking the Iron Curtain. Self-insert dude added himself as a required material. Nope, this spell can be single player, and so it sort of will. I just had another realization of why I ended up being body swapped with Mama. Essentially, we are literally 2 individuals in one body, one of which is the body itself, its core. Anyway, I will rewrite the spell, so it'll work here with us. There are also 2 of the same images of the alien in the hallway that Jacob had posted earlier. Jacob continues, "When she," meaning Chris, "can get this close, let me know." Below are 2 pictures of smoke that Jacob assumes is a portal. The portal is that close. I've never seen anything like this come from her account. She can't do it. Yell at me all you want. I'm calling you out. You need a coven to pull this off, and you have no coven. The Rokat have proven themselves so many times. They have called your stuff before. Since we are never meeting, I have no reason to hold back. Nothing to lose, because nothing was ever gained. You only used me for my power. My magical guides, Mishiro, Genova, and a few others, were smart enough to know your true intentions. You were using me for my powers. They wrote every spell for peak perfection. I'm more powerful, and have proven it dozens of times with photos of real gods. My spells only work as written. Your attempt to rewrite my dimensional barrier shatter spell fails on you. Me and Jacoba are laughing at you because you keep thinking you can rewrite perfection. Our peak power together, and you think you can do it alone. Be my guest. Go fail. At Chris Chan, I'm tagging you specifically for the Kiwi farms to pick up on. They also need to know, I'm done playing your games. My spells are writ for peak power. Go cast everything I've written in your chaos magic ways. None of it will serve you, unless you take the path seriously and follow it correctly to the book at first. You need to build a friendship with the deities involved. Dimensional barriers chatter takes years of proper training in Swahilian, and you have none. Sayurahanism. We never trained together in the meditation and the techniques used in Swahilic magic. Go ahead, cast the spell every night and watch it fail every time, because it will. You need a coven. I'm done helping. Even if the aliens say, I'll refuse. I'll give those lesson up. I have a good place to give my goodnight hugs to, at Goddess Inna 3, the safest mommy of them all. I pray to mommy, my soul to keep safe and loved, protected and safe in the light of God above. Amen. I feel so warm now, like a worn sun shining on me. Of all things, this cute boy gave up on her. She wants to get all huggy on the boys at the BabsCon. I love being touched and held tight. She lost my embrace. It'll be as cold as the rest. If you have the love of this cute little honey, he'll hug you nice and tight and show you what love means through all the ages of the world. Emptiness for the next 1,000 years are hers. Jacoba is working on Earth 1218, aka Earth 666. The beast was given dominion over your Earth, Chris Chan. You can't undo what has already taken place. The fake-ademic is a scam anyway. Play into the cycles of creation and destruction. Every civilization goes through cycles. You've seen Lion King, right? The great circle of life. Everything great and small exists in cycles, wheels within wheels, like a mechanical computer. The wheel of this civilization is turned over. It has to end for the next cycle to begun. The next turning of the wheel. At Chris Chan, vote for Trump this time around. Biden-Harris will never end the pandemic, but Trump wants to reopen things. Trump wants the BabsCon open next year. Sacrifice this photo in a ritual by stabbing it and burning it with Beelzebub. You can be a hero or a zero. You choose. My temple, truly powerful places where real magic takes place. Print out the last photo and run it through with a dagger while praying to Beelzebub to open the path for you. Trust me, it works wonders. It's a good idea to invoke, not evoke, Beelzebub. You really want his attendance in your ritual to open the path. There will even be cold spots in your house afterwards. Yes, free air conditioning when Beelzebub shows up, and works with you and attaches to you more and more. A real portal feels cold, and you can cool off by standing in that spot, usually the corner of a room. The picture in question is a photograph of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Other than working on some new spells and fixing a certain train wreck, Jacoba has more to show me. More proof of where he's got the White Guard. There's more evidence coming out. Chris Chan. Jacoba is going to name me Supreme Emperor of the Rokat Empire, and himself as Steward of the Rokat Empire. He will do most of the work, but I can now make laws on Kitasuna and any planet under a Rokat banner. Below this is a screenshot, again between Chris and presumably one of his White Knights. Chris says, I feel lots better after finally telling Jake off. I had to be careful with my wording, but I feel I've managed to get my meaning across between the, quote, you've never influenced Mama, quote, and the, quote, you never killed anyone, end quote, statements. His low level of magic abilities can only go so far anyway. You take away the result of his past angst against others, that'll definitely cool his jets. Also, although he had his mediocre links with Andromeda in this dimension, Jake is no leader of a planet. That's one of Chris Chan's Sonichu's roles, at least with Kitasuna, so she can abolish the slavery. Jacob continues, the way to treat me and try to claim you're all-powerful and have no proof of your power like I do? You will not be seeing the palace. I hope you get used to low-income housing in Melina, where I keep my white guards to watch over you. Jacoba is right. I should have listened to him all along, with all the trolls before his opinion. My first decree, Jacoba isn't allowed to demand I help you anymore. Cast every spell I've ever written. Please destroy Earth and everything upon it. I just want to watch the world burn. At Chris Chan, I will not let you destroy Rokat society. Jacoba and me put the throne out of your reach forever. You'll have to marry me to get it, and I refuse. Such power should never be in the hands of liberals. Your leftist plans end on Earth. You don't even communicate enough to have you as an advisor or anything. If you talk daily, yes, I can use an advisor since Jacoba has Nekodaima for regular dealings versus my special dealings with specific departments in spiritual research and all. Yes, I have access to anything I can channel or translate through my channeling abilities. Touch luck, sister. You keep thinking you're smarter than me? I can channel the real Rokat, which never talked to you without me as a vessel. Reality? Mishiro. No one on Kitasuna will talk to you unless through me. You are hearing only demons. Reality? Mishiro criticizes you like crazy. I can send you scream caps of some chats as proof. You need training in so many areas before you can rule a real empire. Let me know when you charge head-on into battle, where there is real danger, and you are able to cope with your trolls, and catch MKR Night V lying to you without me having to tell you. Rule 3, must play along with the CPU thing. Below is a screenshot from the Chris Chan Discord server. One of the rules of the server is to play along with Chris Chan's CPU fantasy. Jacob is using this as an example of Chris's friends and White Knights not actually believing in his faith. Chris Chan, thanks for making me want the throne. I was going to let you have it, but after seeing your ego and your desire to destroy Rokat culture, I had no choice but to put my foot down and deny you the throne. Good luck on your dimensional merge, because I forbid the Rokat from helping you unless my version of the spell is used at least once to its description. I was only going to help you once to perform the spells correctly. Mishiro wrote to maximize power, and you deny that power. Chris Chan, now that I'm absolute with Jacoba, I can ask for the most powerful solo play version to be written, but I'm not. We meet, and then I decide whether it's worth such a spell to be made. I need to know you can do the spell in the first place. I don't want to ask the Rokat to create spells that you aren't capable of using, because you want to trim the work out of it. Powerful magic is never easy and requires hard work. I know I'll never have to write such a spell, because you'll never accept the training to use it. Chris Chan, this chant works wonders. Use this chant. I've been working with it for a few weeks now. It will bring about your greatest desires. Mine happen to be the destruction of California. Let's see your greatest desire manifested. Nugune, Ayo, Ure, Ueo, M, Ilne, Co. You won't need the merge if this works for you like it did for me. I'm going to try writing a shorter version I can memorize and use every day, even outside. The first sound is pronounced ing. I'm thinking about making a written form for burning, such as an offering. Ninge, Ao, Ure, Ue, Ule, Nus, Nius. Inge, Ao, Ure, Ueo, M, Ilne, Co. Pretty sure it's supposed to be pronounced ing, A-A-O, Ure, Ueo, Ilne, Co. Chris Chan, I discovered a new deity. This one you will like. His name is Ashume Ue. If he is summoned properly, he will grant you every desire. At T.G. Esper worked with this god without knowing it, and it gave him vast power. This is his chant, and then it's some nonsense. I'll teach you Urash, the language of the soul, to speak to the gods directly. I sought my ultimate desire and burned down much of my stupid state. Your deepest desire lay with this deity. Only the immortal Zare know this language called Urash. It made their race immortal and powerful. Once I master it, I will command the earth like a servant. The Urash is a language of power and sorcery. I am teaching Urash Basic to another already. If you wish to turn this down, you'll be third most powerful on earth. The Urash is the voice of the gods. Those that learn it will have the ear of the gods themselves. I can't sleep. I was inspired by the true power to know the Urash to awaken the full power. Why do they bother to educate special ed when they never go anywhere in life? My whole high school class is homeless, drug addicts, in jail, dead. None of them work. With the fake-ademic and education a total loss, our civilization will collapse now. Second time during the fake-ademic, I watched a bum seize its way into a drug-induced death. I never call 911 for the homeless. I just walk away, even when they beasts beg for help. I smile and leave. This is one of those situations I can stick it to the Democrat Party. Some things are better than sex. Knowing my blind hatred of crackheads is serving Trump's victory is one of them. Biden is a worse criminal. He'll lock down the nation again. We should all refuse to shut down, but rather reopen everything. With no one else around, they do die when I walk away. I like knowing I'm taking from Biden's voter pool. I'm 100% committed to Trump, and I'll let a Democrat die on the streets if it denies Biden a vote. I'll never save a drug addict anyways. Evolution at work. If you're a crackhead ODing on the side of the street, and I'm your only chance, you're absolutely... The prefect warrior only saves good people. Human rights are for good people. Victory is everything. There are no rules in warfare. Winning is the goal. All paths to victory are open. In my case, ask demons to attack the world, and punish it to drain resources, to force them to call off the fake-ademic, and reopen for the final grasp of cash. Now, for those earthquake spells, I have to reopen the mall and get some vital business done. It's time for revolution. It's time for war. A war to wipe out the enemy, and force everything to reopen out of financial desperation. End the fake-ademic at all costs. If we drain federal resources enough, they will have no choice but to reopen and give up. Defy all fake-ademic orders and cough on the rich. Get the rich sick. If you work in their houses, couch on their beds and dishes. Seek the virus and use it to break the system. War. I have been driven mad enough to invoke Asmodeus Asmodai into my temple to wage the war with Jacoba, and the others I've set to destroying humanity until they give up on the fake-epidemic and beg for income to keep themselves afloat. I have summoned Belial in the past, but I've yet to work with Asmodai, as he wants me to call him. The temple is already filling with the smell of his incense. I smell my incense burning, and I've yet to set up my celestial mojo. Goddess Inna 3, pray for my protection through this. Chris Chan, pray that I destroy the corrupt government, and the BabsCon is forced open and remains year-round. I have no control anymore. I'm forcing events in my favor. You're clearly done with me, and I'm going to war to free the people. If the world must burn, so be it. Both of you, I'm giving up my humanity. I have no need of it anymore, since no one can meet, and there will never be another con. My Little Pony is truly dead now as a show, and Comic-Con can't happen anymore. I don't want to be human anymore if I can't have human things. Only good people have clean bodies and clean souls. A filthy body is always a filthy soul, for all clean people have clean souls pure in God's light. You can't be dirty and pure. That is not God's way. To not be clean of body is to fail God. Water is God's essence. All godly things are clean and pure. In the next couple of tweets, Jacob begins referring to a student. He says, "When you perform a sacrifice correctly with Death Strike, you'll be visited by the souls of the dead. Looks like one lost their head. Student, remember, power is meant to be used and abused. Below are 4 images of smoke. Read the forbidden book and master it well. You're ready for the next level. When we meet, hopefully you're far enough along with your power to join Coven of the Blood Eagle. Seek out Blood Raven first. Strundant, you will be sent an updated version of the Heraldic Temple's Gnostic faith with all the holy Uresh so you can keep the darkness from consuming you all the way. Once you've gotten down the holy Uresh, I'll pass down the dark Uresh of the New Dimension Merge. Read Book 2.1 about the darkness of lore. We're getting it before Jacoba does. It will force him to come here to Earth. I finally got rid of her, angel emoji. I can feel the light of God return to my home and the shadow of Satan descend into darkness. I assume that the her there is Chris Chan. There ends a saga. Now I'm going to cast some major spells on her. If you live anywhere near Christine Chandler, move far away. I'm not holding back my wrath on her. I will work on some stuff that'll make the X-Men Storm jealous. I know there are at least 4 types of timelines. I can't describe them all in comment, though. I'm going to read your thing tomorrow. You seem to have an interesting deck in her cards. Chris Chan responds to this. You're no sack of fresh potatoes in this timeline either, Sockness. You can do with a shut up and quit putting up as well. See you soon enough. Jacob takes a screenshot of this and says, I am taking this as a threat, and I'm contacting the police and filing a report. She intended to drive to California for BabsCon. Who knows what she actually plans to do to me? I will defend my home. The sheriff in Greene County is familiar with that address. She must have a lot of calls made against her. It ends here. It's time to put her away. What, she gonna kill me now? I don't feel safe. It's pretty obvious that when Chris says, see you soon enough, he's talking about how he's gonna go back in time and go to BabsCon, and Jacob's now just using that literally as any excuse to attack against Chris because he hates Chris. I will be searching for the remaining trolls to seal this account. Alan Christopher responds, well, I hope they have every holy scripture in their bookcase and have medics nearby because nobody touches my Jakey Bear. Jacob responds, hungover. Some of that North Korean booze would be great. It's said to not cause hangovers. I am now single. Anyone who's brave and said the virus can now adopt the boy. I give cuddly comfort, wholly non-sexual contact. But if the chemistry is right, who knows what can take place, seeking extra hugginess. Depending on what you're like in real life, you'll be an auntie or uncle, daddy or mommy. I don't expect to find a brother-sister. I'm just after the comfy places that allow me to nap in safe, warm arms. I'm very affectionate. Alan Christopher responds, I would happily gift you with endless motherly hugs. And Jacob says, hugs are always good. Mine are extra huggy. It's a little disturbing that Jacob's saying that he's now single, seeing as he was never dating Chris. I just got contacted by my student. Chris Chan is trying to get back into my life through him. I'm not folding this time. Chris is in league with them. This is probably a complete lie. My student turned out to be Illuminati connected by the sound of his messages to me. Someone with real power is interested in my books. I channeled some sort of code that piqued their interest. Chris is the least of my worries right now. August ended with Jacob posting a YouTube video about the coronavirus. Spread the truth that this is a total scam. Only the poor have to obey WHO and CDC measures to stop an imaginary virus. This is the end of the August update. I will be back soon. Thank you to my patrons, A Humble Narcissist, Angel, Ash Perler, Blue Coon, Elijah, Hunter, Jess, Jose, Joseph, Joshua, Caitlin, Randy, Shadow Nexus, Snotling, Steve, Torchka, and twitch.tv/SumaBreakup.